right, we're rolling. It's time to talk today about a topic that is incredibly important to me, my independence. And if independence isn't important to you, I'm not sure where you live right now. I'm not sure what you've grown accustomed to. Maybe I'm not sure what you've given permission to other things, other people, other obstacles in your life. But independence, pretty important to me. It's Greg Yates from Breakthrough Leadership in the No Head Trash Nation, talking to you today in advance of the 4th of July, talking a little bit about one of my favorite topics, independence. Of course, if you know me, you know I'm talking about independence from the things that are holding us back, the things largely in our thinking, in our heads. Head trash. I had to say it. I'm so excited about the possibilities that exist for independence. Now, you may say, hey, Greg, either you're independent or you're not independent. And I thought, since you're the one always talking about independence and talking about head trash, that you're probably completely independent and completely able to, be free from this head trash thing. Don't we all wish? I mean, don't I wish that were the case? But today in our podcast, I'm talking about the importance of independence, because when we lose sight of the things that are important to us, we lose them. When we lose sight of the things that matter most, they tend to disappear. Have you ever tried to just stay in shape perpetually? I mean, you get in shape physically, and then all of a sudden you wake up one day 6 months later and you say, what happened? I just had back surgery about 7-8 weeks ago, and I hadn't been able to run for 6 months. And, I'm out there now trying to get that going again, and it's a strange thing. I run a couple miles, I'm totally gassed. I'm start to cough here. I'm totally stretching my lungs. I'm doing things that I'd already done to get back where I already was. And when you think about independence, that really speaks loudly to me, because when I think about even our country, don't get me started, I think about the things we ran from that now we're creating governmentally. We're creating them in a society, in a cultural aspect of thinking. And it's been the same thing, in the church throughout history. It's the same thing for all of us. So, let's don't be pointing fingers. We're all guilty of this potential to recreate where we've already been and find ourselves waking up. I don't know about you, but, I've stumbled across things that I wrote 20 to 30 years ago and said to myself, oh my goodness, I wish I were right back there. I wish I had the clarity that I had in that moment every day. But we don't just by default keep our independence. We don't by default keep our clarity, and that's the atrocity of it, really. I like to talk about something I call the greatest mystery of all time. I should do that just as its own podcast, right? The greatest mystery of all time. What we're capable of. Or maybe I should make it more personal. What I'm capable of. What you are capable of. It's a mystery. It's a mystery that's never been solved yet. We should spend our lives trying to solve it, don't you think? I think that one of the greatest challenges, one of the greatest opportunities in life would be to move toward what we're capable of despite what's behind us. And you know me, I've got some garbage behind me. And I'll be honest, some days I wake up and it's kind of snuck back up on me. Some days I wake up and I'm thinking, the stuff I thought I left behind, it tries to catch up. It tries to invade once again. It's head trash. It's the trash that wants to reclaim territory in my thinking processes. Because independence is largely, I've never said it this way before, but independence is largely our decision-making process. When we've got a process of decision-making that's geared toward independence, toward being focused on where we want to be, our independence, our liberty, Give me liberty or give me death, right? When it's focused on that, we continue to walk even if the enemy is creeping up behind us. And guess what? I think there are times when God parts the Red Sea, when he parts the water for us to go through because we think there are no steps left in front of us. So today, if you feel like your back's up against the wall, you feel like maybe you've reached the end of a particular road, start looking for that miracle. Start believing for it. Start claiming your independence, because when you look at what God said we're capable of, yeah, it's the greatest mystery of all time. It's the greatest unsolved mystery. We explain it away. We try to talk against it. I'm almost thinking sometimes that that's the real heresy. That's the real speaking against the Spirit, is when we start saying, well, it was true for them, it's not true for me. Oh, well, I'm the one talent guy, so I'm not responsible for liberty. Whoa, got to take a drink of coffee on that one. What is it we're really responsible for? What is it that, I don't mean that negatively. What is it that we're really capable of? What is it that if we let go of the dependence, we can move toward independence? Wow. I mean, think about it. I'm sorry, we get dependent on things. We get dependent on our thought processes. We get dependent on things we expect to be neatly left where we left them, whether it's in our thoughts, in our homes, in our car. We get upset when those things aren't exactly where we expect them to be. I have done this, but it's easier to observe it when you're in conversation with other people. When suddenly a question is asked or a crossroads is reached in a decision or a conversation, and you see, I'm going to say you see them because, again, we all do it, but I think we see other people click. They default into a zone that they've been in before, and you can hear them speaking a very clear signal about why they can't, why they're disqualified, why something doesn't work that way for them, why they don't have the choice that it's, perceived that they have. I mean, we've perhaps opened the door to a choice and said, hey, we can make this choice. And suddenly, here's the well-rehearsed reason why it's not possible. And you can almost see the peace come over them. Oh, I've got an answer for that. I can be relaxed in my answer because I'm going to believe this answer because it gives me comfort right now. Independence didn't happen through a decision made by the masses or some, social thing, or opinion poll or whatever. No, it happened because there were a group of people who said, that's it. I'm not going back, and I'm willing to fight. I'm guessing there were a lot of people in the independence that was fought for in our country. I'm guessing there were a lot of people who said, man, I wouldn't have done that. Why didn't we just go ahead and pay it? Why didn't we just go ahead and settle back and, we had it pretty good. But there were those who took action because they saw dependence. They saw it as an atrocity that was holding them back, and they wanted their independence so badly they were willing to fight for it. Are you willing to fight? That's a question I ask myself, by the way. Am I willing to fight? Am I willing to fight for what I think is possible with this life? Now, as fast as the years go, take a couple of deep breaths, and you won't have to answer that question anymore. It'll be over. You won't have that chance. You won't have the opportunity, but I don't know who I'm talking to for sure. I got a feeling that if you listen to me, you're somebody who's saying, I want more. I want to be who I was created to be. I want to be that person who is able to clear the air, clear the mechanism. I love that old movie, right? The love of the game. Clear the mechanism and walk step by step straight toward that thing that is my potential, that is what I'm trying to accomplish. I don't know if it's possible, But if I don't move toward it, I will never find out what is possible. Sometimes we move toward things only to get to an intersection point to turn and move in a different direction. But if we never get to that intersection point, we don't know. We're so busy trying to decide whether or not we're capable or worthy or whether or not it's even possible that we don't even try. And I'm mad at myself over that because I've done it too many times in my own life. I play out the simulator. I've got the little joysticks out and I play the simulation and I go, you sunk my battleship. It didn't work, right? It didn't work. It didn't work, so I just moved on mentally. I didn't go ahead and actually do it because I saw in advance what I believed would occur. Hey, there is no way that most of the people who seek independence from their frailties, from the things that are holding them back, there's no logic. I watched, Kyle Menard, the video of him climbing Mountain Kilimanjaro with no arms and no legs, little stubs, and he bear crawled that thing all the way to the top. Now, tell me anybody said that was possible. No, it's not possible, but he still did it. He still did it. And there are things in my life that I'm irritated with myself because I'm saying they're not possible. I want to build a tribe of people. I want to build a tribe of people who want to go from here to there and they're willing to scrap to get there, who want to bond together, be a part of something that they could move forward every day, that they could, talk about their challenges, talk about the things that are killing them and slowing them down, the jello they're swimming in, and they could move forward because they choose to do it together. That's what I want. And I'm afraid to ask for it sometimes. Man, I'm going to go on record right now. What I'm looking for is people who want to bond together in this way, and I will go to battle with you. I will share what I've learned and learn what you share. I will work hard to dig into the possibilities that exist, the encouragements. All of us have different skill sets. I've got lots of business skill sets that I've learned over the years, things that just come natural to me because I've repeated them so many times. I have people ask me questions about the things that are challenging them, and I'm like, oh, well, yeah, let's talk about that. Because it's not all just about, the esoteric nature of what it's like to be independent or free or to be free from head trash. It's about, there are functional things that we need to be able to do in business, in leadership, in family. I mean, there are functional things, and I'm not always the greatest in some areas, but when it comes to business, and especially as it comes to men's perspective on business, on challenges, on, getting out of our own heads, on dealing with validation, on really the systemization of what it takes to achieve our full potential physically, mentally, relationally, spiritually, and financially. Yes, I think I've got some things to offer there, and I'm busy apologizing for it half the time. I'm like, maybe you want to follow me. Maybe you want to talk about this. I'm looking for validation. It really irritates me that in many ways I'm still looking for validation, and I thought I'd left that head trash behind. But the truth is this: if we want our independence, we're going to learn to rant about it. We're going to learn to where it's the only topic we want to talk about. It's the only thing that matters, and we are not going to waste our potential. Now, if you're busy wanting to waste your potential, you're busy making excuses and apologies for the things that are holding you back, then you're probably not enjoying what I'm talking about right now. You're probably ready to hit that button. But if you want to even entertain the possibility that this works, that your destiny's not fixed in those endless loops of just repeating the same things over and over again, then we've got to connect. We got to get together. We got to change some things that are only going to happen together. You see, inside my head, I can't always see what's going on. I need other people to help me identify those enemies, those enemies to my potential, to my capability, to my forward motion. And I need to help other people do the same, okay? If you want your life to change, your family to change, your business, your circle of influence to change, it's going to start when you demand personally your independence. And that is all about choosing your personal definition of success It's all about identifying where you really are. Yeah, not the fun stories that you like to tell and the ones that immediately come up when you're building a new friendship, but where you really are, the honest, gut-wrenching truth, where you really want to be. There's going to be some passion involved to move you through enemy territory to get there. And if you don't build an army to go there, you probably won't make it. See, that's my passion, is that despite the clarity I have sometimes, I still need accountability. I still need to be part of an army. I need to be someone who's being clearly responsive to the thoughts and the perspectives and the love even and the passion of other people. And I don't know how it works with you. What I know is that when I'm isolated, I'm vulnerable. And when I've got the strength of allies, friends, brothers, when I've got that, I feel invulnerable. And of course, one of those allies is God. We build relationships not just with each other, we build them vertically with our Heavenly Father, because the reality of who we are is embedded in His creative purpose for us. He's told us again and again what it is. We still think we're looking for it. I'm guilty. Sorry. That's my own personal disgust I'm sharing there. I mean, I continue to say, oh, what am I supposed to do? It's like, I already told you what you're supposed to do. Build this trust relationship with me. Bear fruit. Connect with me so that I can connect you to everybody else and change lives. Yeah, that's pretty simple. I like to make simple things hard. I already told you that. So independence, the greatest illusion of all, that we're actually independent. I talk about it in my book, Broken, How Being Broken Unlocked the Greatest Success of My Life, because I went to prison. What an incredible story. But the truth is, what I realized was I was in prison long before I went to prison. Because I was in prison, I was not independent in my pursuit of my greatest created purpose. I wasn't. So let's talk about just for a minute before we end up here. Our independence is important. The title of this podcast, Why Independence Matters. It matters because unless you choose a path of independence, and that just means pursuing now, what is it going to take for me to be independent? You're not done. It's not an aha moment. There's no flipped switch and you're done. This is a walk. This is a pursuit. And when you decide to do that, then you gain power over the head trash. You gain power over the things that have been creating dependence, whether on your own false beliefs or on other people's validation or society or culture. If you're waiting to decide what you believe to see the news at night, then you got a problem. Because independence was born in the refusal to let somebody else dictate what's possible for us. We want to be free. I want to be free. You want to be free. Let's choose freedom together. Why independence matters? Because we want to be free. You know what? I talk about this kind of stuff all the time. I'm really looking for your input. In the No Head Trash Nation, it's a free Facebook group. I'd love for you to connect there. The No Head Trash Nation with Greg Yates on Facebook. I'd love to meet you there because it's an opportunity for us to engage in this and on a daily basis, share the little pieces that help us lift our heads up and move forward. I'm Greg Yates from Breakthrough Leadership in the No Head Trash Nation. Thanks for talking with me today about why independence matters. I look forward to seeing you again real soon.